Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Brought us by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch. Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
This you do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, July 14th. By the look on Landon's face, maybe I wasn't the only one experiencing some trouble there at the end of the intro, but we're in here. I'm Caleb, with me always, Landon Raby, and we've got Joe in the booth running things tonight. We've also got a fourth hopping on for some time, Mr. Redmond Walsh. Can't wait to get him on. Talk some fall baseball. I'm fired up. We talked about the stadium a little bit in our group chat, our friend group chat. So I'm fired up for everything Tennessee right now. We can do it all. We don't have to limit ourselves. I know 49 days. That's got me fired up. Every time I don't know about you. I've just been like reloading pictures of the stadium with the letters on it. That's it. That's all I look at.
Yeah, that's super nice. I also have just so many pictures in general just from baseball season that I probably delete, but I'm scared to delete because I never know when some of those might need to pop back up.
Exactly.
So,
Speaking of baseball, what about the Vols' newest signee? Sparking maybe some international feuds.
oh yeah, Maui Ahuna. Hey, don't mess with that guy. He's a fireball. We lose Drew Gilbert, we get another fireball, and Maui Ahuna. Hey, cool with me.
We thought it was Tennessee against the SEC, against the country. It's Tennessee versus the world, apparently, and I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's fine.
Also, I'm wearing my One Knox hat. So speaking of programs or teams I'm excited about, One Knox won their league. They actually secured it a couple weeks ago, and they're hosting a USL2 playoff. That's on Friday, next Friday.
Playoffs.
So
is this their first year, right? And they're already hanging banners.
They're already hanging banners, and I'm not trying to talk trash. They should have been better. Like, they're set up to be the better team in this league right now, just because of the investments and stuff. I don't think they're going to be in this league for long. So
Okay, is that a Danny White thing? Is he just?
Oh yeah.
Is it just something about Knoxville that just, I don't know, just burst with winning? That's what it seems like. You just want to be a part of it. We're about to talk about another Tennessee transfer that just wants to be a part of it. Hey, I love it. And I know we're going to talk about football first, but baseball a little bit. The MLB draft is coming up. So that's going to be huge to see kind of how, good this baseball team really was, where they're going in the draft. And I think that's a huge selling point to transfers in high school players across the country, saying, hey, you come here, you're going to develop into, an MLB draft pick here pretty soon. So
right.
I think it just speaks to the staff.
And I think even beyond just develop into an MLB draft pick, develop your game even if you're a Chase Burns and you want that situation to improve, even though it was already great, you can come here and improve it. Nothing's going to drop off. I think Chase Burns may have paved the way for some guys that they don't fall the way they want in the draft. Maybe Tennessee's a place they're willing to go and try to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's shift a little bit. Football first. Let's stick to the outline a little bit. Hendon Hooker. We all saw the was it Pro Football Focus, their top 10 quarterbacks in the country. Hendon Hooker was not on that. Spencer Rattler was number 3. Bryce Young was number 1. It had Caleb Williams Dylan Gabriel, Caleb Williams. It was just a weird. Keaton Slovis was still at USC. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know if they're just like, all right, let's put the Heisman at number 1, and let's just draw a name out of a hat for the rest of them. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, it was not a good list. It almost seemed like it was based on recruiting rankings.
Ooh, maybe it was. I don't know. Mike Farrell had a weird take this, and I kind of agree to a certain extent, but he's just like, sorry, when you said recruiting, it just made me think of this. How he said Arch Manning, if he didn't have the last name, would be a 3-star. I don't know about that. Now, is he the number 1 player in the country? Probably not, but I don't know about a 3-star. I mean, Joe, what do you think? Do you agree with me? You're in this.
I'm always in this. Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
Basically.
perfect. Perfect. So Hendon Hooker, top 10 quarterback. I don't think there's any doubt that if you're a Heisman front runner, or not a front runner, a Heisman dark horse, you should be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think that there's any. I mean, I guess there could be some argument there, but we'll let the stats talk. I don't think that that's really. I don't know.
Like Caleb Williams and Bryce Young, I'm cool with that. But not even putting Spencer Rattler above Hendon Hooker, putting him above CJ Stroud. What is this list? In what world, he loses is Caleb Williams that good where he was able to beat out Spencer Rattler, and Spencer Rattler is just behind him in the top quarterbacks in the country? That doesn't makes zero sense.
Well, that's what's. I just don't. It's not the top 10. You kind of said, there are guys in front of him, sure. It's the being ranked at 23 that makes me. I just don't understand it. I don't have a big problem with the rankings are stupid. So I'm really not. I guess it's like this has no weight because Spencer Rattler's number 3, right? I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Spencer Rattler?
I think he's overrated. I think he's been overrated since high school, and so the fact that he couldn't even win the starting job and didn't have that great of a season in the Big 12 under Lincoln Riley, and they think he's going to come to South Carolina with Shane Beamer and just be this all-world quarterback, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they do hype it up as if, the addition of Spencer Rattler to South Carolina is going to turn the program around. And, they're set for the next 10 years. It is funny how they seem to word it like he's their saving grace. And it's like, I don't know. I'm going to need to see it because, I wasn't a fan of him in high school.
I mean, his best year at Oklahoma was in 2020, and he threw for 3,000 yards. Hendon Hooker did that in the SEC.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler threw 7 picks. He threw 5 last year in 140 attempts. I mean, that's you had the stats in front of you. What was Hendon Hooker to every interception to every attempt?
Yeah, so he led SEC with 9 touchdown passes or a touchdown pass for every 9 attempts, which is pretty damn fantastic. And then among SEC QBs, it was he had 101 pass attempts in accordance with every interception. So basically, for every 1 reception, there was 101 completions or every attempts. Whereas Bryce Young was next on that list with 78. So I mean, that's a pretty clear, distinctive list there from Bryce Young. I mean, that's and the same thing with because there was only one other quarterback that threw for 3 interceptions, and it was Bo Nix. But if you look, Hendon Hooker threw 31 touchdowns, Bo Nix threw 11. So again, that's quite a divide there. That's distinctive difference. It's not like it's neck and neck enough to turn your head to it and not just let the numbers speak extremely for themselves.
Well, then my next question, is it about the full team's output, what they think the offense can do? Because you see, they have LSU, who doesn't have a starting quarterback above Hendon Hooker. So is it also about what they believe their offense can do? Because I also think that's suited. Tennessee returns center Tillman. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
bottom.
who
Like,
the
that's
hell is Spencer Rattler throwing to?
Yeah, you return Cedric Tillman. Sure, Valus is a big loss. I think if you look at the stat, see, I don't even know. I think the stats are a little misleading. I don't think Javonte Payton's a big loss. I think for overall Tennessee's, just ability to hit the deep ball like they did. Cedric Tillman brought some of that, but Javonte Payton was even more of a home run threat. So I think you lose that, but I don't. That's not going to make it a lot harder on Hendon Hooker. So I don't know what. Again, I don't know where it went wrong. I don't know what they were looking at. I can point, like I said, recruiting rankings seems like some of it, and then offensive output because of the LSU thing makes me think that too. Tennessee should be better this year on offense.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, how many quarterbacks did South Carolina go through last year? Like 4, something like that. I mean, they had to pull a GA from his spot and put him in a helmet and shoulder pads because they didn't have anybody else. So who is that offensive line going to be that much better?
That's a big part of it too. Yeah, I don't understand. I think I can. I mean, South Carolina's obviously part of the equation because that's where he's playing. But I mean, I think put him anywhere, and I'm asking the same question. If he's ranked at 3, if he's at Oklahoma against, or if he went to USC with Lincoln Riley, because of the year last year, how could you say he's in the top 3 quarterback?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm glad we get to debate this because I'm glad someone put out something so stupid that we can talk about it. I enjoy it. It's fun. I just don't. It's very dumb.
Well, did they not see that Slovis is at Pitt and not USC?
Did they have him at USC? I went down. I needed to go look at that list again because I can't remember all of the orders. I know Van Dyke was number 10, I believe, and I think he's a good quarterback. What is he top 10 though?
How is Dylan Gabriel getting so much love? I mean, he came from a non-Power 5 team, and Lincoln Riley's not at Oklahoma anymore. So we can't just crown Oklahoma as QBU when their quarterback whisper isn't there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Venable said he's ready to get a fire hydrant. What was it? Fire hose?
Oh, yeah.
What did he say? What was that quote?
It was a bonk, whatever it was.
It was a big bonk.
He said something about I'm going to put it in my mouth or something.
Yeah, it's not, I can't remember the exact quote, but I don't know if it came across how you wanted it to, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't get the Spencer Rattler thing at all. I don't get the Will Levis hype. I know he wasn't in this top 10, but I don't get. I would. There's a better argument for Will Levis than there is Spencer Rattler, though.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Well, that's why I think you're saying that the stats are going to be skewed towards something else. Because if you look at that, both Levis and Rattler are behind Hooker for Heisman odds. Technically, I know that's not the whole story, but if you're just talking about straight, like if you're going to be looking at Heisman odds, you're going to be looking at what makes them to have a possible Heisman year, and it's going to be all your factors on offense. It's going to be the receivers you're throwing to. I mean, obviously, that's going to be a huge factor. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not too sure where that's coming from.
Yeah, Anthony Treesh, more like trash. I mean, take out that E and it's trash.
Do you have that ready? Did you have that ready?
No, I did. I just saw it right here. Treesh, trash. It's just terrible. Yeah, I would agree with the first two, and then you have Spencer Rattler. I don't even have to read the rest of it. It's just
I think Caleb Williams isn't. I don't know who 2 is, so I guess maybe you can put Caleb Williams there. But
I would probably put CJ Stroud at number 2.
Probably. I think Caleb Williams. We can't forget that he didn't win the starting job last year.
That's a good point.
Who do you put above him?
See, I'm with Landon. I'm with Landon. CJ Stroud is definitely above him. I agree. I don't know who I put there. But I think we're also kind of. I think is this a transition year with so many guys transferring and like the guys that stayed aren't super proven yet, so it's hard to just separate them. But again, that's why my biggest problem is Hendon Hooker being 23. 23 is absurd. That's my biggest problem.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's the bunch up at the top. I mean, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, like we said, are probably there's quite a gap between them and the rest, and statistically. But Hendon Hooker, I I get it. There's not like a proven track record. It's not like, he's been playing, Tennessee for the past 4 years, and we've seen him year after year get better and better. But like we kind of have
the starting job.
we kind of have in a way. Like the progression just over how long we've seen him play is insane. And so, I don't see that large of a gap with people to fill in the gaps from your 2-3 spot all the way down to what, 26 you said? 22?
He was 23, right?
23.
I believe.
I think that somebody was just commented that. I think they were just being funny. They said Hendon Hooker's number 23 with all of LSU's 3 quarterbacks that might win the starting job above him. I think that was a joke.
Yeah.
I think they were just being.
That was a joke?
Yeah, I think it was a joke because they just put.
It was on their article.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was in their article.
Okay, I just saw the top 10 list. I didn't see the whole.
I'll go look, but I'm pretty sure it was in the article.
That's insane.
And again, it's pro football focus, so we do have to remember that. I'm shocked Garantano what number 2.
We couldn't make it through one quarterback segment without mentioning him.
That's not true. We made it through at least 35 last year. Maybe not. We probably did mention him.
Here's my thing with Hendon Hooker. Please slide.
Right. Right. So
the three interceptions speaks for itself.
So was it? It could have been a joke after the top 10, but he's not in the top 10, so I don't know.
Right.
If that's what they mean. If he listed it as a joke after.
Yeah, I think he commented on my post and was like, Hendon Hooker's number 23.
Anthony Treese commented on your post?
No, some random person.
No. Oh, I saw this in the in article somewhere. Hold on. Like I saw it listed. I didn't see this reply.
Okay. We're all over the place. But as long as
he's not top 10, which is absurd.
Yeah, we can refute that fact no matter what. Because even then I'll still make the argument that even if you're gonna put, top 3, I don't see the gap that doesn't, unless it's like a tight bunch back there from like 8 to like 12. Which I'm assuming it is, but that's...
So it was top 50. It's separate from the top 10. He did a top 10. He broke them all down. Top 50, number 23, Hendon Hooker. Number 22, all 3 of LSU's starting QBs. Yeah.
That's a real statement?
That's real. That's real. And hey, listen, I'm not a big Will Levis fan. I don't get the hype, but he might be higher than 19, right?
Dude, this guy needs to get rid of his job. I can't believe
Trash. Anthony Trash.
On these awful opinions. Get him on the show. I want to absolutely light it.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, again, it's recruiting rate. Quinn Ewers, however you say his name, is 18. He's above Will Levis and Hendon Hooker, and you have nothing on the guy.
And he's going to play 1 year, and then it's going to be Arch Manning show, so it doesn't matter.
Whoa, 3-star Arch Manning. Back up.
Yeah, 3-star Arch Manning.
Which, I agree with the sentiment, but 3-star? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. We've seen the tape. We haven't just read his name.
Right. So, going back to baseball, Tennessee lands UConn transfer, first baseman, left-handed pitcher Reggie Crawford, and I think he's the number 80th draft prospect in the draft. So we'll see kind of where he lands and see if he actually makes it to campus. He sat it all last year with Tommy John and hit 295, 13 home runs, 62 RBIs in 2021 was a all Big East selection. And then 2020 was a freshman All-American. Has only pitched 7 innings, but apparently this summer he threw 101 after recovering from Tommy John. So,
oh, wow, that's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe he should just stop working out for teams, and I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But a big weekend for.
Is this does the money have to be a right situation? Is that kind of the deal?
Yeah, I'm thinking if it doesn't go exactly where he wants to go, or the money's not there, then he comes to one of the best programs in the country. It's a win-win for Reggie Crawford, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So yeah, we'll see what happens, and it's a big weekend for a lot of Tennessee Vols. Drew Gilbert. Go ahead.
How old is he? 22? 21?
I mean, he'd be a junior in college.
Okay,
so
21 probably,
19,
maybe 22.
20.
He looks he looks like 20 probably. He looks 36 years old minimum.
Oh, he's massive.
Yeah,
He's like 6'4", 235. I mean,
the
he's
jaw
a
on
grown
him.
man.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I just had to throw that tidbit in there.
You liking that jawline, Caleb?
Dude, I mean,
It's
if I'm the batter, I don't want to know what's coming out of that. What heat I'm about to face. I don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want to punch him.
Oh, definitely not. I'm not charging this mound.
So guys you need to watch out for in the draft. I think the first 2 rounds are on Sunday night. Gilbert, Beck, Tidwell, Joyce, Crawford, probably all in that range or around there. After that, Lipscomb, Ortega, Stevenson, Cortland Lawson. You got Will Mabry as well. Tennessee commit Alex Stanwich. I think he's 130th, top 130 player in the drafts, or top 200 prospect. Sorry. So we'll see kind of where that falls. I mean, you always worry about when you're a good program, you recruit with the best in the country. You're going to worry about the draft, but also it's a really good kind of celebration of where your program's at, having this many guys probably hear their name called.
What a big weekend for fall baseball. Not that there's been guys taken past years, but just a load of names.
Yeah.
A load of names.
And could have 3 first rounders. I think the last time they've had multiple first rounders was 2007.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, just because in baseball you tend, especially in the SEC. I mean, like I said, Tennessee still had a lot of talent throughout the years, not as much in a single team like this, but it's still crazy that since 2007. That's wild.
So who's a better draft prospect in y'all's opinion? Is it, or I guess, who would you draft first? Not a better draft prospect. That's probably not the right way to phrase this. Drew Gilbert or Jordan Beck?
As a man who doesn't know much about baseball, everybody that I've heard say Jordan Beck, so I feel like I just have to agree with that. I could be getting trapped though by the idiots like at Pro Football Focus. That's possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Drew Gilbert, and I don't know what kind of organizations like in prospects, but the fire, the way he can play the outfield, he's got the arm. He can bat whenever in the lineup. He could be a leadoff all the way. He could bat cleanup like he did for Tennessee. So I just think there's so much versatility. I mean, definitely Jordan Beck has all the size, and he's got the arm from the outfield. But the way I just think Drew Gilbert's just different in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's too why, for me, that I don't know much about baseball. It's harder to judge that because they're two different types of players. Like they very much have different styles. One's going to hit mostly for power. Drew Gilbert, he had the best batting average in the nation, right? At the end of the season,
in the SEC. In the SEC,
I thought it was the nation too. Okay, but regardless, might as well be the nation at that point.
Yeah.
So I mean, just the two different types of player. You mentioned Beck's arm. I mean, Drew Gilbert plays center field because of his speed. So just like that's why I don't know, and I was just going with the experts.
Yeah, it's probably more on what the organization needs and what they're looking for. But if I'm choosing which one's going first, I'm probably leaning Gilbert.
All right, well, put some money on it. what we got here?
Can we bet on the MLB draft?
We got I learned something from some young fellows last weekend that were friends. When they make bets, they make bug bets. If you lose, you got to eat a bug.
Oh,
and you can.
So you lose money and eat a bug?
No money involved. No money involved. Just bug. It's a bug bet. You owe me a bug.
Okay.
That's what they were saying to each other. So you can also put off the bug, but I could recall that bug any moment. It's a bug bet.
Oh,
can you double down went double or nothing?
What's a good bug to eat?
I'm sure you could.
I mean, there's probably not a great choice, but if you're losing all these bets, like our friend Chad, I mean, he has to find a preference somehow, right?
I think I would just have to go with the basic housefly. I think that would be the safest bug to eat.
Oh man,
yeah, it's gross, but I mean, would you rather have would you rather eat a spider? I mean,
I'm thinking like an ant.
Okay, I feel like ant.
Really?
That's comparable to housefly, I think. As
Yeah.
far
I
as
feel like
just,
I would just keep pushing it back and
I
doubling
think
down.
the worst would be a moth.
you get to like $500.
Oh yeah, if you like fits flying around in your mouth or something.
Yeah.
Does that feel alive or can you like yeah, no.
Oh, I think you can kill it. As far as
But yeah, I would rather just save them. Like if I'm gonna eat a bug, I'd rather eat like 5 at once. From like if I lose 5 bets in a row, then that's my bad or like whatever. But I'd rather just eat them all at once than have to like do it 5 individual times because then it's just that's a
Oh
pain.
yeah,
in the ass.
like a raisin.
Yeah, I don't want to be snacked. Yeah, get them all down 5 and a half.
I don't think ant covered raisins or chocolate covered ants count for this bet.
I would do the
I think they
chocolate.
gotta
covered
be-
biscuits. Those are actually good.
I think gotta be
Sprinkle a
from the
little
wild.
little sugar on it, something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to eat a bug with anything on it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
You can't do it. Can't do it.
It's like a shoe thing. You like step on it and just peel it off your shoe and just
Oh,
like a,
I
like
think
a
that's
little chip.
grosser. I think that's somehow you made eating a bug grosser.
yeah.
Get it off your shoe.
Maybe all the guts are like still in your shoe though. Huh.
Maybe we'll just have to do a bug bet for the win total, maybe for football season or something. We'll come up with something disgusting.
Oh yeah, we'll do we'll definitely have to do a bug bet for that. But in the meantime, though, we do have a special guest for you guys, and we appreciate him hopping on. We've got VFL, SEC champ Redmond Walsh. Redmond, how are you doing tonight? Thank you for hopping on too.
Oh, for sure. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm pumped to be here. Been keeping up for forever, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Heart of Louisville. Are you back in? Or not Louisville, Louisville. Sorry,
You gotta get it right. My mom would have corrected you all right there.
Louisville.
So, but yeah, I'm back over here, just getting things ready, getting ready for the draft. Hoping something happens. Keeping up with some of the guys. Summer ball and everything, but no, it's been good. Good time off.
Yeah. I wanted to play a Square Dance by Eminem.
You haven't been
as you
fully
came
off.
in.
You've been.
That song's been great ever since that came out. Coach V's called me Slim Shady. He's called me oh my goodness, he called me Rabbit. He's called me everything out of the book from it. So it's kind of taken off. I picked it as a walk-up song one year, and it's just been taken off from there.
Yeah, if I guess YouTube takes this down if we have any kind of music or anything, but if not, we would have had it.
I love it. Thank you.
So you're getting married soon, also, right?
Oh, yeah.
When's the big day?
October 28th. So
Okay.
hopefully she's not listening to this, but she's way out of my league, and somehow I get lucky. I think the baseball thing had something to do with it. But
There you go. A little cleat chaser.
I'm not going to say that because, like I said, she might be listening, she might not be, but she's awesome. She's a girl. 28th, so I'm pumped for her. I'm pumped to do that, get ready, move on with the next part of my life.
Is that a fall wedding? That is a fall wedding. Is that on a football Saturday?
It's the Friday before Florida, so we go to the game for the honeymoon. So that's
there you go.
Good little getaway right there.
There you go.
Did Coach V put you up in a box for that? Is that his
See, I'm trying to get something out of him. I'm trying to get him and Coach A and Q all to come to the wedding, but
there you go.
They said they would, so we'll see.
Okay. I'm sure Zert can pull some strings for you.
Zert can pull some strings. I'm just nervous for Coach V coming to the wedding because a bunch of my mom's friends were like, if he comes, I'm gonna have to dance with him or something. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. No one's gonna leave him alone. That's gonna be awesome.
That's awesome. Congrats. I'm glad you did it Friday. That's a pro move for fall weddings.
I know. We
gotta
had
do what
to.
you got to do, but at least you're making it work.
Yeah, we're making it work. You can't mess up the football game, so that's the biggest part of the weekend.
Yeah, we made a pact. We can't go to fall. Like if it's on a Tennessee game day, we can't go. My wife got an invitation, and it's the Alabama game, a home game against Alabama. No shot. I'm not even sending a card. That's what you get.
I feel like we had to plan our bachelor trip around. I think that's the weekend, the bye weekend. That was the thing when we all discussed. We're like, we can't miss any of the football games. So
there you go. Yeah, you're doing it right. So kind of being that hometown kid, you did tie Todd Helton's save record. Congrats.
Thank you.
Was that ever? Was it ever in the back of your mind that was a possibility when you came to Tennessee?
And when I came to Tennessee, I just wanted innings. That was the thing that was crazy. None of the records or anything. I mean, me and Luke Lipsius are the last two guys to commit in that class. And for both of us, we just really wanted to see the field as soon as possible. So the first year I get injured, the second year that the first year he gets to play like maybe 10 games. So for us, we were just trying to see the field whenever we could, and that was more what it was. And then 2019 happened. We make the run. I get a lot of closes, and it starts becoming more of a reality. You kind of feel like the team's getting better. You get more of the opportunities to get saves, because in our first season, I bet we didn't even have 7 opportunities for saves, maybe even less than that. So it's just like you didn't win enough for it. But it's kind of one of those things you don't think about it until you're about 2 or 3 away, and people start telling you. And when they start kind of comparing you to Todd Helton, it's a pretty big deal. And I've always given Vitello a hard time. I'm like, man, it's like if you let me swing the bat too, I said I would have broken Luke and Todd's record. But but it's one of those things. Just being in the same category as that guy is like unbelievable. I mean, he's Tennessee baseball. That's the definition of it. He's the best to ever do it, and it's just neat to be in the same category.
Yeah, and obviously, hometown kid, wanted to play for the Vols. What was that kind of opportunity like, and how did it come about to play for the Orange and White?
So Coach Simcox was coaching at Diamond at the time. That was the team I played for.
Okay.
We go out to Coastal Carolina to play in a game, and he was just kind of being like, man, I don't know who we're going to throw in this next game. And I'd thrown a couple days earlier, still on a short rest. So I was like, hey, coach, let me throw this game and get to the championship. I go out, and I'm actually pitching against Zach Lingenfelder and Andrew Schultz. Those are the 2 guys that pitch for the other team. And I always tell them they're the reason I got to UT, because we go out there and we end up beating them. I think it's a low-scoring game, like 2-1 or 3-2 or something like that. After that, Slim gets a job back at UT, and I'm kind of one of the first people that he gets on board with them. And he always tells me the only reason he offered me was because he thought I was tough, and he said that I just carried myself really well. So he's kind of the whole reason I'm there, him and Coach Serrano. And then Frank and Coach V just gave me an opportunity to start pitching there, which still blows my mind that their go-to guy at the end of the game was a guy that threw 85. So
I remember the early part of this season. You mentioned you got to ask about Ben Joyce, and I'm sure you get that a lot. And you said that Ben Joyce's changeup is better than your fastball.
The dude's ridiculous, and the thing about him that people don't understand is, so this is my favorite story to tell about him. We go and work out over Christmas break, and I'm talking about we go and get there at 9 o'clock. I show up at 8:50, and he rolls in at 8:55, dripping sweat. Like I'm talking about just you can tell he's been, dude, what have you been doing? We're supposed to lift at 9 or lift at like 9:15. He's like, yeah, I went over to the T-Rec and they were closed. So he said, I found a hill and I ran up it. I was like, how many times do you run? He's like, 20, 25 times. I'm like, this is early in the morning. And I'm just like, the guy's one of the hardest workers I've ever met in my life. So everything that he's going to get in the next 2-3 days, money-wise and draft-wise, he deserves. He's the hardest worker I've ever played with in my life. And it kind of just puts everything in perspective of why he throws as hard as he does and why he's been so good.
That's awesome.
I heard a story that you told about your first couple days on campus. Tony and Frank may have thought you were a manager. Is that any truth to it? Is it actually real? How did that happen?
Yeah, so it's actually one of the cool things. Coach A sent me a message after the season, and just kind of he meant a lot to me, I meant a lot to him, and he in the message he mentioned, he's like, you're still my favorite manager I've ever coached. And so when they came in as a coaching staff, I'm going through Tommy John rehab. I'm not throwing. I'm kind of like behind on the workouts because I can't do as much as everybody else just because I'm rehabbing. And I walk up to Coach Vitello one day. I'm like, hey, Coach. I was like, I need to throw to hitters today. I was like, it's part of my rehab and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, for sure. Well, he goes over and tells Coach A, he's like, hey, who's this guy that's wanting – I thought, why is the manager wanting to throw to hitters tomorrow? And Coach A's like, I'm not sure. So they go up and I think they talk to Chad, and he's like, that's Redmond. He's just been rehabbing and stuff. And next thing you know, I go out on a pitch and I throw all right, and I keep throwing better and better. And next thing you know, I'm closing baseball games for him. So that's just kind of, I think it's one of those things. They never would have told me that story if I didn't have some success there and they didn't feel comfortable with me. But one of those things, just just care. Like that staff is so awesome for that reason because they don't care if you throw 82 or you throw 105. It's like you're going to go out there, you're going to get out, you're going to do your job, dude. They're going to play you no matter what.
They should have doubled that scholarship after that. You kind of earned it twice.
Hey, double and zero is still zero. So
Dang.
That's I wish they'd let you go. I wish they'd let you go out there 100% thinking you're a manager. That would have been fantastic. That's
I don't know. That story would have been better.
We'll give Chad some credit on that one too. We'll let him have some.
Yeah, there you go. So you were here before. You mentioned you were here before Vitello and Anderson got here. What was kind of that transition like, and what kind of sets them apart, and kind of the reason why they've had so much success in such a little amount of time?
And they talk about culture more than anybody else, and it is kind of a word that people use sparingly and kind of like in different situations, but they preach it. It's like they wanted to make a culture where everybody was tough, everybody was mentally tough, physically tough, and everybody just wanted to be. If you're part of the program, you want to be there. You want to spend every day there. When the coaches aren't there, you're getting extra reps in. And they do it a lot. They talk it a little bit, but most of the time it's their action. They try to be there as much as possible and do as much. I mean, nobody works as hard as Coach Vitello in the country. There's been times where he'll call me and he'll be on the road in Texas or somewhere recruiting. And then Sunday night, he's driving back to get to practice on Monday. And it's just like, and this is after games and stuff. And it's just like crazy stuff that he's just always going. And that's kind of been like the biggest change for us is like, and you've seen the guys, like everybody's big, everybody's strong, everybody's super athletic, everybody wants to be there. I mean, if they were recruiting the guys back then that they're recruiting now, I wouldn't have been there. I mean, have y'all seen Reggie that just committed? The dude's as big as Ben Joyce, and it's just like those are the guys they're getting now. So just their work ethic, and they kind of put that into us. And then Q and Coach Elander and Coach A, all those guys are they're super tough guys, and they kind of push that on us. So.
Yeah, we talked about Reggie Crawford. Caleb liked his jawline when we were talking about it earlier.
He's got the jawline of a 36-year-old dad. I mean, it's tough.
He's crazy. I was seeing videos of him throwing and hitting. I'm just like, it's unreal. It's a great swing and it's a great arm. And if he somehow doesn't go in the draft and gets to Tennessee, he's going to be an unbelievable addition. I can't imagine what Coach Anderson's, how much fun he's going to have working with that guy and getting him to the next level. I mean, that's going to be crazy.
So you would have been that same way with the bat if Vitello would have let you swing it, right?
Maybe better. Maybe better. My high school stats are pretty good. I was like a 290 hitter with a couple balls in the outfield. So
okay. How short's that? Is Alcoa's field a little bit bigger than Lindsey Nelson?
Yeah, I think it's like 400 to the corners or something like that.
Glad we didn't play the SEC championship games there, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What? So I know you mentioned. I think you mentioned this throughout the season in a post game, and you kind of answered the question there. You went from winning 7 SEC games in the first year you're on campus to I can't remember however many in 2 SEC championships. What was so you mentioned, how just physically and mentally tough. Was it a transition that you kind of saw happen, or was it kind of just it was so instilled in you that you kind of just arrived there? Because I mean, you play D1 baseball. You play D1 baseball. You have the early mornings. You have the tough practices, the tough weight sessions. What was that change like?
I think I really think our freshman class was it. You look at that class and you kind of see how they've all done, and they kind of started that culture of winning where it wasn't there before. I think they've always had talent. You look at the team before I got there in 15. You have Nixon Zell, AJ Simcox. You just have a really good team of guys that are in the minors and big leagues, and they just don't win as much as they probably should. And a lot of that has to do with just everybody buying into one thing. And I think when we came on campus, I remember sitting out and in like just the hallway of our dorm and stuff, talking to like Lingo and both the Lipshius brothers and Garrett Stallings. And dude, everybody was bought in that we were going to make a regional, and it might be not that that year, but the year after that, we were going to do it and we were going to be good. And I think that was the biggest thing, is just seeing that we could do it. And I mean, that was the thing. We used to, my first year, they would celebrate winning one game on the weekend, and now we'd sweep teams like the Vandies and the Ole Misses, and we wouldn't like everybody just go home because they were exhausted because they put everything at it, and that's the difference. It's as silly as it sounds, it's just like winning was the expectation. Now, when in the beginning it was just like, man, if we won one, that's great, and that's been the biggest difference between the early years and now.
And you spent a lot of time with Coach Anderson. What's kind of he like? And then why is he always so cold? Why is he wearing a hoodie when it's 95 degrees outside?
He doesn't want to get sunburned. He said his skin's bad, and he's old. His skin's not good, and I always give him a hard time because I'm just like, Coach, I was like, you got to get some tan or something. You're gonna be blinding us, but he looks like the most intimidating person out on the field, and he's probably him and probably Vitello and probably me out the point. So they're probably the three most competitive people at times, and but he's like a 12-year-old at times. He goofs around more than anybody on the team, and he likes to keep everything super chill. And that's why he's like the man in my world. Like, we talk all the time, and he's probably given me more crap than anybody else. He just jokes and makes fun of people and just like wants to have a good time, and that makes him the way he is. And his relationship that he builds with all his pitchers is just great because he keeps everything simple. It's nothing like, I'm going to change how you pitch. It's just like, we're going to recruit you because you're really good, and then we're going to make adjustments here and there to make you the best pitcher you can be. And that's like incorporating like a new pitch, or it's kind of like fun, like breaking down like pitching mechanics where they're just simple. That's what he does, and that's why he's the best. And I saw a stat the other day that he's produced more big league arms than anybody in the country, which is a unreal stat.
Probably increase that number a little bit after this weekend.
So everything we hear about him, he seems just the most level-headed person. So how often do you see the Notre Dame and Alabama version of Frank Anderson? Has that ever come out in a practice, or is that excluded for the umpires?
I think it happens. I think that's his competitive nature. He wants you to be as competitive as him. His go-to line, he says it every year to people, and I've heard it 6 times now, is he's like, I'm so competitive. He's like, if all the pitchers were here and we put a ball in the middle, he's like, I might not get that ball, and we're all fighting for, I might not get it, but I'm taking out 4 or 5 of you with me. So he is, but no, he's unreal. He's level-headed, but he wants everybody to be as competitive as he is.
And you were so good at like keeping hitters off balance in your time at Tennessee. What's kind of that like? Is it a matchup thing, or is it just like you have the same game plan to go out there and just switch things up? Is it just timing and maybe holding the ball a little bit longer? Like what kind of goes into that?
A lot of it was me, and especially the last 2 years, Pavoloni and Evan Russell and Coach Anderson just sitting down and talking about how to attack hitters and kind of how to do it each game. But for me, it was the changeup for me has always been good. It's always been really hard for hitters to pick up, and it spins just like the fastball. So that was a plus pitch for me my whole career, and it's something that, especially early on and toward the end, that I could kind of throw in any count whenever I wanted, and people would just be uncomfortable with it. And then toward the middle there, people start kind of getting scouting reports and start sitting changeup and stuff, so you start pitching a little differently. But those are the trends and stuff that you start to notice and everything. And but no, we've just been lucky to have guys like Pav and Russell have been 2 of the best catchers I've ever thrown to in my life, just in the sense that they've both been great behind the plate, but they're both great dudes that you just love to throw to and you trust because of their baseball knowledge and experience.
What was that transition like? I mean, you had a guy like Pav who just came to Tennessee as a catcher, incredible catcher. What was it like to get a guy like Evan who hadn't? I think he said he played a couple innings in high school. Hardly counts as playing much catcher. Getting a guy like that he does have that transition period. I'm sure it took some time to get comfortable. What was that transition like though for you guys on the mound too and getting there?
It wasn't that hard because, dude, Evan Russell is the guy. They are going to build a statue of him one day, and everybody loves him, and that's how the team felt about him too. It was one of those things. the catching. He was already pretty athletic, so it wasn't super hard. But you could tell, like every day, like you'd walk by the batting cage and something, you hear machines going off, and you just hear pop, pop, pop. You walk in, Evan's catching 100, 200 balls off the machine before anybody even shows up. The dude's the grinder, so you kind of knew that at some point it was going to be really good. And I think the first time I really noticed that the dude's become like a plus catcher was I was watching a video. Rob Friedman had a Ben Joyce throwing fastballs at the knees, and Evan caught it better than he catches anybody on the team. And I'm like, that's impressive. Like, it was just fun to watch because he was sticking everything. And I think that's why when the draft comes around, I don't know where it'll go, but him being able to catch now will help him get drafted and help approach. He'll be a steal of the draft, in my opinion.
I thought you were about to say when you heard the machine go off. I thought he was in there in the cage like Happy Gilmore taking it off the chest.
Yeah, dude, to be honest, him probably wore one or two to wake him up, and then he got down.
Well, and you do have to when you catch guys like Ben Joyce. You have to just one. You're gonna take one. Might as well get used to it.
I mean, do y'all remember the game? Evan missed it and hit the umpire straight in the mask. That's what I was almost scared was going to happen with them. That umpire had a concussion for like 2 weeks after that. So,
oh my!
Didn't he? I thought he stayed in the game though, didn't he?
Stayed in the game.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, that checks out.
He stayed in the game because I think if they pulled him, he'd had to take 2 weeks off for a concussion. But he's a good guy, and I think he's stayed in. I probably should.
Dude, that's awesome. That makes me respect him so much more. I feel like we were giving him a hard time before that throw, but now I respect him. Stay in.
I think he told us after the game, or the next day we had seen him because he's from Knoxville and stuff, and kind of does some of our inter squads. And he's like, I don't remember like the last inning at all. He's like, I think I was just calling pitches
there. He did a way better job than Angel Hernandez, that's for sure.
That's not too hard right there, though.
Yeah, that's true. So you kind of mentioned your change-up's probably your favorite pitch. What else do you throw? And did you have to change any mechanics or anything while you're at Tennessee?
Yeah, so I threw a 2-seam and 4-seam, and then I threw a curveball. And I threw a sinker and change-up. Those are two main ones. And early in my career, threw a lot of 4-seams late in the count. I had a little bit more spin to it, a little bit more velo, and just like through the years, you start pitching so much, and toward the end, you start kind of seeing the regression, especially like you see Sean Hunley last year, and then some guys like that where they throw so much that you can see they're starting to get tired, that you got to kind of work around and learn to pitch guys differently because the fastball's not jumping out of the hand like it usually is. So for me and Coach A, it was to learn like a more of a slurve that I had an all right curveball out of high school, but it was once I got to college, it wasn't very good. That was the thing. You kind of get that jump and you get to the SEC. You go from Alcoa to play.
We lose them.
One of the bigger things that I had toward the end of it that I was kind of working on and having.
We losing you? You there, Redmond?
I thought we got him back for a second. We may have lost him again. I see some movement there. We got you back.
Hello.
You back?
I think I'm back.
Okay, cool. I thought it was me, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm in a new place. I'm at my parents' house. So I'm just like, what is going on?" It's at Louisville, man. It's hard to get some service back there.
We're out here.
It's God's
in the
country.
Yeah. We're in the boonies. We barely get anything out here, so we don't even get a phone reception.
Oh my gosh. I do have some rapid fire questions real quick. Just want to ask you some quick stuff. So if you're ready, we can just fire them off real quick.
Let's go. I'm good. I'm ready for it.
All right. Best batter you ever faced?
Dylan Cruz.
Oh yeah, that's probably an easy one. Stretch or wind up?
Stretch.
4-seam or 2-seam?
2-seam.
Who wins in a fight, Drew Gilbert or Jordan Beck?
Jordan Beck.
His nickname's Mike Honcho. You can't.
Okay. Yeah.
God.
Who wins in a race? Luke Lipsius or Jared Dickey?
Jared Dickey sneaky fast now that he's skinny. And I'll tell him. So when he was chunky, no. But now that he's skinny, yes.
Okay. I like that. That makes me a little bit more excited for him to be leadoff next year.
Yeah. He's a great bat, so.
Speaking of Luke, he's got the old man jog down perfect. I mean, it looks like he's chasing kids around the yard. Where's yours at? You guys are the old men on campus.
I'm trying to learn from him right now, so I'm trying to stay as young as possible. I always get a hard time because we have freshmen on our team that look older than I do, and it's just one of those things. I feel like I'm gonna get the old man jog in probably 10 years, and then somebody like Caleb Meredith, who's a freshman on the team, will probably get it in 1 year, and he's just because he looks like he's 40 years old already.
You got an athletic run from the bullpen, and Luke can barely make it to first base out of the dugout. It's
Beck's also his is just so
he's got a hitch. He's got a hitch.
Yeah, it's just here we go.
Beck runs like he is. It's just like he's like the chillest person ever. So like he looks like he doesn't care half the time. So that's how he plays baseball too. It's like, oh, you're just gonna throw a heater 98. I'm just gonna put it over the fence right there. So I mean, that's just how he is.
What do you think happened more times? Tony Vitello slaps that pad in the dugout, or Jordan Beck's hat fell off in the outfield?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's the hardest one to play. I'm gonna say Beck's hat fell off because if V hears this, who knows what he'll say to me tonight. So
I do have one more question about it's kind of about you, but I know a story and I'm hoping you know it too. Have you ever been like called on to like get warm and you're in the bathroom?
I have not. I know a couple guys that have. I know Kirby has before, and Kirby was like they called him the red light guy. So anytime that something went down, they'd send him to the bullpen. He'd get 2 pitches, and then he's in the game. And that's how it was. He's always the emergency guy. And I forget which game it was. I want to say it was like early in the year, like Georgia Southern or something. But he's in the bathroom, and then Richard's going, and he's pounding on the door. He comes out, throws his 2 pitches. He comes in. I think he gets 3 outs right away. But it's one of those things. I've heard of him doing it before.
Did he have time to shake it off just in the game?
Yeah.
He was bad, but everybody thought that's what happened to me at the SEC tournament when I came out with my fly undone. And everybody was like, "Were you like in the bathroom?" I was like, "No, my pants were broken," and I blame it on the man. I had him low, and I always give him a hard time about it. So,
hey, you're just letting it hang, man.
Letting it hang. Just let them know what's up. I mean, I feel pretty good, so I probably should have done it more often.
There you go. Yeah,
that's a good point.
So I heard it happened to Will Mabry. Did it happen to Will Mabry this season?
I bet that kid is just all over the place. So I could 100% see it happen to him.
How come we don't get any more media with Will Mabry anymore?
Because he gets everything that goes to his head comes out his mouth, and we are so terrified of what he's going to say. There's no filter in between it. Most people can think through what they're going to say, and he's so. I mean, that's why everybody loves him on the team. Like, he's a great dude, but he just does not care. Whatever coming to his head, it's going to come out his mouth. And sometimes you'll hear him catch himself. He'll say something. He's like, "Man, I probably shouldn't have said that." And then we're like, "Yes, 100%."
That's awesome.
What was I may have been there all season. I noticed it late in the year. I can't remember when. I believe it was a snake that maybe it looked like someone won at a county fair hanging up in the bullpen.
Was it in the bullpen?
Yeah, in the bullpen, yeah.
That was Mark McLaughlin. He's another guy on the team that's just like, you probably talk to him, and you're probably like, this guy shouldn't be going to Princeton or something. He's like so nerdy and geeky and stuff. But he's such a dork. He'd won it at I think it was the SEC tournament. It could have been earlier than that, and just carried it around everywhere with him. And he was just like, this is going to be our lucky monkey, and like, we're going to have it everywhere. If you also notice, there was like 4 squirrels, like foam squirrels that were hidden in our dugout. They had that Mark and Kirby had put up every single game. And anything we wouldn't get it, they'd go and move one because they were like, it's unlucky. So I'm telling you, baseball players are the weirdest people, and then pitchers are especially weird.
Wasn't there a live squirrel early in your career? You might have done an interview with a live squirrel on your shoulder, right?
It's a video of me and Russell. And Russell has girl. I mean, not a squirrel on his shoulder, and his name was Poncho. And then they found out that it was a girl, so they changed it to Poncholina, and that was a mess. And I forget what had happened. The squirrel got hurt outside the dugout, so we called Russell Mama Russ, and he nursed the squirrel back to health. And then,
Oh my, that's awesome.
Wait, what happened? Did it finally? Did he release it back to the wild? Is it a?
But it was I forget exactly what was wrong with it, but it was it got nursed back to health. Russell's a incredible mother, so he helped it get back to health.
Heck yeah. Who's the weirdest player you've ever played with, or most interesting? We'll call it that instead of weirdest.
We could be here for days talking about it. There's so many guys. I mean, you got to put Drew Gilbert up there. He's the guy. He's so weird because you watch him in game, and he's so locked in. He's so firing. We fed off his energy all year. But if you're in the locker room with him and stuff, he's probably the goofiest, weirdest person ever. It's just like his mannerisms, and he's always joking, and and the thing is, it's with everybody. There's not one person he does it with. It's everybody on the team. So he's up there with it. But I mean, there's a lot of guys. Luke Lipsius is an aerospace engineer that's going to work on jet engines. And if you've ever been around anybody that's been with them, they're going to say he's like a 6-year-old. He's just really goofy and young, and he's probably the smartest guy I've ever met. So we have a big spectrum of guys who are just
What about
weird.
Cheese? Is he up there?
Chaz is spaz, and I love that.
Sure, they all saw the video of him dancing this week.
Yeah,
That's
his personality. He's all over the place. So he's probably the best dugout guy I've ever been around, because he's always in every game, and you never know. He'd walk up to our trainer every inning, and then he'd smack him on the butt, and it's just every game, he'd never forget it, never messed it up, and he'd just say something to him in his ear. Weird stuff. Chad's up to go, but there's a bunch of them.
You mentioned baseball players are weird.
Yeah,
you guys got
they're
40.
all weird, and that's what makes it so much fun. I got one for y'all. This has been an argument for years in our dugout and locker room and stuff. And you're talking about Evan Russ, who would win in a fight between Jordan Beck and Drew Gilbert. The biggest argument I think we've ever got in the locker room is who would win in a fight between Evan Russell and Ronda Rousey. That's been the argument for years.
Oh man,
Huh.
I'd say Evan.
Right now, I take Evan.
We're in our prime. In our prime,
Yeah.
I'm like, Russell, you don't have a chance against
I think it's
her.
interesting. I haven't seen him scrap. He might be a scrapper.
Yeah. Can he take it to if they're standing up, Ronda Rousey's going to give him that kick to the temple, and it's going to be over with.
That's why I said. I had Russell for a little bit, but there's a guy that Coach Vitello is good friends with. His name's Scott Holtzman, or Hot Sauce Holtzman, and he came and talked to us one day. And Russell, being the guy he is, told Coach V he's going to go up behind him in the middle of his talk and try to get him in a headlock. And Russell goes up behind him, and as soon as he's about to wrap him, Scott flips him over and puts him on his back. And I'm talking 2 seconds. And after that, I was like, "Yeah, you have no chance."
That's a bad look for the Ronda.
That was your tryout, and you failed.
I like that one. I don't know how tall is Ronda Rousey. Do we know? I feel like that's he might have reach.
I think we said 5'5". I think she fights at I think it's it's either 135 or 150. I forget which one it was.
So he's gonna have quite a bit of size. All right, I think it makes it interesting. I think there's a debate to be had.
We should set it up. This should be an NIL event or something.
Yeah, V says he doesn't have a chance, and in her prime, that no chance.
Her prime was short lived though. That's
it was.
He might be able to
Holly Holm shorten that up.
Yeah,
that's fun. Hey, last question I have, and then
Well, I've got one more. Do you want to save yours for the last?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Better moment, winning the SEC championship or booking your ticket to Omaha?
Man, that's a tough one. I'll tell you right now, knowing you're going to Omaha is probably the best feeling ever. But my favorite moment in baseball that I've had is, and this is me getting corny, but we win the SEC championship and we're going around and you're kind of hugging everybody. And it's at the same time, me, Russell, and Luke all turned around and we ran into each other on accident. And dude, in that moment, you just kind of tell we've been through the ringer, we've been through a lot, and now we're SEC champs, and we gave each other a big hug. There's a picture of it. I'm getting it actually framed and hung up, and I'm just like, that's probably the coolest moment I've had in baseball, because you legit see two other guys who have been through the ringer. I mean, all three of us were preferred walk-ons. All three of us weren't supposed to play. All three of us probably should have left after our first year, and now you have Luke, who's the all-time leader in home runs, Russell, who's second all-time and probably Mr. Baseball at Tennessee. And it's just so neat to see, like, these guys grinded it out and we're given an opportunity, and now we're winning SEC championships. So that's probably the coolest moment in my opinion. Going to Omaha is probably like a bigger, cooler, like just overall moment, but that little moment right there is probably the coolest one in my life.
Yeah, I love that. And Redmond Walsh is the career leader in saves in Tennessee. You can't leave that off. So I was going to ask one, because when we had Chad Dallas on, we talked uniforms a little bit, and he kind of said starting pitcher usually gets the pick of it. So that means you maybe get left out to dry. Was there any uniform? You can tell me your favorite, but I'm curious, is there one that you're like, why did you pick that? I hate the feel of it, hate the look of it.
The pins they were brutal. The pants are a little too big on everybody, and those are probably one everybody was like, why are we wearing these? I think everybody liked the whites, and then once the blacks came, that was everybody's favorite. They felt the best, and they just looked really good because you get to wear the UT hat with it, and those are my favorite uniforms. But like you said, being a closer, you don't get any say in the picking the unis. You just kind of get stuck with what you have to use. But those were easily the best in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't know the pin. Oh, sorry.
I wish the football team would bring the blacks back.
I think you guys inspired them. I think they saw them on the field, and I think they're coming.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll ever convince Rick Barnes to bring out the black uniforms for basketball, but Josh Heupel's a little bit more to convince.
Let Coach Barnes do what he does. He's the man.
Yeah. I told Chad at I believe it was a super regional, that we needed to see black with the pinstripe pants, the Chicago White Sox, and he said, I guess some had talked about it, but y'all don't like he said we got to get new ones first. So.
Yeah, we got to get new ones first. There's a lot of things. We've had some crazy uniform inspo. I think Kyle Booker was like, we need to get orange on orange, and I was like, I would look terrible in that.
I think it would not look good, but as a Tennessee fan, I also feel like I would just be very cult-like about it. Just agree with it. It would look.
They would sell. Those orange pants would sell.
Kyle Booker also claims he's got better style than me, but I don't know about that.
Who's got the best style?
Oh, it's Trey. That's easy.
Oh yeah.
Trey.
Best style. His little that before he gets in the box. It's pretty cool.
He's
we got RG3, Trey Lipscomb fan. Put it out on Twitter, let everybody know. I got him on video this weekend saying he's a VFL. So confirmed. You guys turned RG3 from a Baylor Bear to a Tennessee Vault. That's what the BaseVols do.
Yeah, we turned a lot of people. I don't know if anybody's seen this, and Bryce Harper was actually hitting BP with a Vols shirt on, black Vols shirt. So he was friends with Jan Gomes, who went to UT, knows V, and reached out to him, and that's kind of the story I heard. But there was a picture circulating with him with a Vols shirt on. So we've turned some heads a little bit from last. So makes it all VFLs for life.
So you like being the villain?
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way you'd want it. Tennessee fans, that's how it is. Everybody's going to hate us, but we love each other, and we got the best fans in the world. So I think being the villain is kind of what fueled us, and I think we get a lot more hate than we deserve. But, I mean, guys like Drew Gilbert, who I tell this to people all the time, he's the kind of guy where if it's a pointless scrimmage, he could probably go over. But as soon as it's got anything to it, like you're going to run laps after the game, or you're going to it's an orange and white series, there's an actual game, he's going to go 3 for 4 just because it's like that little bit of spark, and he wants to be that guy to kind of ruin your day. So he's kind of of being a villain.
Well, and I'm sure you know this too. Me and Landon talked about it. People didn't like Tennessee before you all went and won championships. So why does it matter if you're hated now? I'm sure you know that too. You went to those stadiums, you weren't welcomed, even when y'all were winning 7 games. So why does it matter now?
Yeah, nobody ever liked us. It's just one of those things. Tennessee fans are so passionate that it's almost too much for people. But as a Tennessee fan, you love it.
Absolutely.
What was your best like away experience, like a stadium that you went to, and maybe most hostile?
My favorite that I've been to was State, and the biggest reason was we sweep them, and their fans are probably the coolest ever. We go out to the outfield, and they're handing us like big trays of different meats and barbecue and all this stuff.
Turkey legs in there.
It's everything. My favorite part is there's a video of Kirby carrying out like 2 or 3 of them, and it's just like it fits them perfectly. That was pretty neat. And most hostile. I mean, to be honest, the worst I've ever got it was ETSU because but that's just saying like just because I knew people there and they were saying everything in the book because they just knew me. But SEC wise, and it's South Carolina. Those people were just like they are just mean. Like they just say whatever they want. That stadium's huge. It's kind of enclosed, and that's probably the most hostile I remember.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I can believe South Carolina. I think they were ejecting fans 2 years before COVID. I think they were ejecting fans for the trash talk, so I believe it.
Well, Redmond, that's all we got. Thanks for you're on the show for quite a while, so we do appreciate your time. And what's kind of next on your docket? I see you're doing a lot of camps and things like that. So what's kind of next for you?
Yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting around, seeing if I hope I get an opportunity in the draft somewhere late. But if not, baseball's an option, coaching's an option. Getting a real job, that's another option. So we'll
You're
see.
engineer, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, so everything's up in the air. I'm just kind of playing it by ear right now. Like I said, my fiance hates it. She hates that. She's just like, what are you gonna do? She likes knowing what's next. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm just kind of enjoying life right now and just kind of playing it day by day. But that's the thing. I got such good people around me, and Coach Vitello, Coach Anderson, always checking in on me and just seeing how I'm doing and seeing like kind of what's next and stuff. So I'm not really worried about it. Just kind of playing it day by day, playing by ear.
That's awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and if you need anything, just holler at us. We'll definitely do this again soon. I had a great time.
Perfect. This is awesome. Thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. That was VFL Redmond Walsh. Appreciate his time. Like Lana said, he stuck with us for a while, and love that program. They've been good to us, and it's it's a good program to be involved with. They're not only winners, they're good guys, no matter what. No matter what the media tells you.
Yeah, you saw when they had the players meet with the media, you saw exactly why Redmond Walsh was always one of the first ones out there because he just handles himself well. And that's probably why he was, had so much success at Tennessee. He mentioned that's kind of why he got the offer in the first place from Simcox. So that's really awesome to hear, and wish him the best this weekend. Hopefully he finds a place and is able to continue playing. If
he scared me with the. Oh, sorry.
If not, I think he's got an opportunity coaching somewhere.
He scared me with the fall wedding and stuff. I thought we were gonna have to disavow him right off the bat. I was getting worried.
Kick him off.
Fridays, Fridays are good though, Redmond. We're good with it, man.
Yeah, hopefully he's able to get a video at his wedding of him coming out to Square Dance by Eminem.
I think they're gonna have to take all electronics away if Tony V is gonna be there because the women. He already mentioned it. The women are gonna be trouble. So.
Yeah, maybe he brings a date. Maybe keeps him away. Maybe just a family friend. It doesn't have to be anything serious, but yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Fight him off.
Maybe he's just a ceremony guy. He just leaves after the ceremony.
He doesn't look like a ceremony guy.
No, he doesn't.
He looks like a guy who would skip a ceremony.
Yeah, just go to the reception.
Yeah. That's what
I'll wait on you guys. I'll keep the seats warm.
I mean, we're eventually going to run out of Vol baseball people to have on, and Tony's going to have to come on. We're padding stats over here, so we're forcing his hand. He's gonna be the last left in the dugout. So
we get to see Pavo in a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I was actually thinking about that today. I was going to text you, make sure we're all good. So yeah, we're heading over to Asheville, July 30th, 29th, something like that, and going to catch up with Pav and watch him.
And Zach Daniels plays for Asheville too. So
okay, I missed that.
2 VFLs.
Meant to have Redmond force. Kyle Booker said he'd come on.
Okay.
So I should have stayed after the game and gotten his number because I think that's what he told me to do. But I kind of didn't understand until later. So I'll DM him on Twitter. We'll get it worked out. He's from the dugout. He said he was coming on. So
Okay, he's had a pretty good summer so far.
yeah, no, he tore Johnson City apart when I went and watched him play. So we got our brains beat in, but it is what it is.
All right. Well, more important issues with more important issues.
Yeah, let's get to those. So I think this is funny because we were talking about how passionate Tennessee fans are and everyone hates them. So this is kind of my answer. And this is open-ended. You may not be able to think of one right off the bat, but wanted to present this. What is something that is not a cult but seems like a cult? And for me, it's volunteer fans.
I was going to say
100%.
CrossFit.
Yes, that's a great answer. Great answer. Little Family Feud. Great answer. Great answer. But it's Tennessee. It's Tennessee football. Tennessee athletic fans. Like it's volunteer fans. That
100%.
We are a cult.
I guess I don't notice the cult because I'm in it.
You're involved. You're in denial of it.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, I just wanted to float that one out there, and it's funny we talked about it. This next one we've kind of discussed.
Joe want to get on?
Yeah, Joe. If you want to hop in for more important issues, let's do it. What's
Joe,
the largest?
what is a cult?
Okay,
Did you hear that question?
Yeah, I did. It was actually funny because your answer was kind of close, and I thought about it like that, and I think it's marathon runners because like.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And this, you might be offended by this or someone, if you run more than like 10 to 12 miles, if you run more than a half marathon, like on the daily, like I got trust issues. I don't know. Something seems, and they
need to go to therapy. They're running for therapy. They need to go to therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I agree. Marathon runners is a good one too because they're less culty than CrossFit. Like CrossFit all meets up at the same time, like 5 a.m. But they also marathon runners they're all the same person.
Yeah,
they do the same thing and think the same thing.
Can be up there too,
for sure.
I just feel like every time I eat a burger and there's I know there's a vegan around, I just feel like I'm getting judged.
I think that is a cult, though. I think that's too far past the line. I think that is a cult.
It's an organized cult.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point. Maybe it is. Maybe we're just naming cults.
Yeah. We're exposing all of them right now. They're probably watching like, they're on this.
Yeah. You got to break it up.
Cut it off.
I'm tweeting Landon's address so they come for him first. Give me some time. I'll get a call.
Good luck finding this one.
Yeah. My next one. What is the large? We kind of asked this one with grizzly and polar bear. What's the largest animal you could beat in hand-to-hand combat?
Largest, like weight-wise, like just like overall, like not like tallest.
See, that's my question. I've never seen koala bears. First of all, I haven't seen. Do they have claws? They're not koala bears. Not koala bears. Panda bears.
Oh,
because pandas are lazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't even want to have sex.
Yeah, that's easy. You can definitely like.
So do they have claws? Because I feel like I could take a panda.
They do, but I don't think they really move that quicker. I don't think they're. I mean, maybe. I mean, not.
I think you're right.
Panda's a big animal. It's.
So maybe.
Dude, I could friggin' uppercut a kangaroo.
I was thinking
you get your landed.
No, I'd be like that video. That guy, he had his dog.
Dude, he came across a dumb kangaroo. Why did that kangaroo not just kick him?
He was just shook. He couldn't do anything.
That's the strongest part of its body. Why would it not just kick him?
It's like a shock and awe. You can't give them time to think about it. You just gotta react.
Have you seen the videos of the kangaroo drop kicking people?
Yeah, I would destroy the kangaroo. I feel like they have to like square you up to do that though.
Yeah, I mean this is hand-to-hand combat. You're in the ring. This is like Evan versus Ronda. Like this is the real deal.
You got to be light on your feet.
You're gonna get a kangaroo that's on like cocaine that is just really out for blood.
Kangaroo. Joe, do you think you could beat up a kangaroo?
I could knock a kangaroo out easy. You get the right time, he's catching that one so easy.
Y'all better hope I never get my hands on a kangaroo.
Yeah, seriously. I actually also think I could take down a camel like a little bit more than you think I might be able to. They got long necks.
Might be a good answer.
If you control the head, you're able to maneuver the body a little bit, maybe sweep a leg every now and then. But
I'm thinking you just go straight for a leg, just like
maybe yeah.
I think you try to break it first contact. You try to break the leg.
Yeah.
Does a draft count then? Because you could definitely go to draft's leg and just one swoop just fall over.
I feel like drafts might be tricky though. They're kind of fast.
I wonder if they get
fast.
Well, they could just pick you up real quick and just drop you from like a 3-story building.
That's true.
It's true.
They just scare me because they're powerful. Camels aren't very powerful. Camels
Have
can
you seen
run,
how
but
giraffes
it's
slap
slow.
their neck? They like smack their necks together. It's terrifying.
Dude, I bet that neck is meaty. I bet it is.
Oh,
Them long necks.
It's girthy.
Let me get to this next one here. We did kind of get into this one too, but it's another spinoff. At what point does a pizza stop being a pizza and become dough with stuff on top? So a flatbread, I think, is the question. When does pizza become a flatbread?
Is a flatbread not a pizza?
I think
Yeah,
a
that's
flatbread
awesome.
is. I don't think a flatbread is technically a pizza. Like, I've had pizza that I'm like, this is not pizza. Like the barbecue chicken pizza. It's just barbecue on bread and chicken and cheese. That's not pizza. That's a flatbread. No,
I guess in my opinion, if it's like
I consider them the same thing.
yeah,
I just
it's
don't think that's
very
a pizza.
it's
I don't
very
know.
difficult for me to go outside of the realm of pizza. Up here and towards
I think if you cook it, it's pizza. Like if you just ate that like without putting it in the oven.
if you put it in a pizza oven or something, like some sort of oven, like that's a
Like
pizza.
I
the
don't know if I
Lunchable
can agree
pizza
with that.
thing. That thing is not pizza. That thing is gross.
It's a pizza Lunchable.
It's gross.
Yeah, that doesn't count as pizza. Well, it's not cooked. Also, square pizzas don't count. I know that's a hot take. I can't stand square pizzas.
What are they called? Deep dish?
You like Jets?
No, I don't like square pizzas.
I think Jets is an outlier though. Jets is one of it's at least for fast food.
You
For
talking-
fast food is one.
Are you saying like you're surprised I don't like Jets?
Yeah.
I enjoy
Jets is
Jets, but something about the way, like when I eat a slice of pizza, I like to just grab the crust, like unless it's a corner piece, which is fine, but like something about having to grab a middle piece, it's like grabbing the middle piece of a brownie. Like it's good, but like the way, like it doesn't seem.
I get what you're saying.
For the
Yes,
pizza,
that makes sense.
I appreciate this middle piece differently. I'll say that. I still appreciate it, but very differently. I agree with you. Crust is
Yeah, you definitely want those
and I still
side
like pizza. So
pieces.
it's just weird.
do you like cold pizza better or like pizza the next morning or pizza?
Well, I like it more when it's warm, but I think cold pizza is definitely underrated.
I've heard people say cold pizza is better.
I don't know if it's better.
Cold is different than lukewarm. Like room temperature pizza is
Yeah.
good. Cold pizza straight out of the refrigerator is gross.
See, I don't know that I like lukewarm pizza, but you give me it like fresh off the rack in the refrigerator, like just like right out of the box in the fridge, just oof. I
Room
like
temps,
Oh,
room temps hit or miss.
no.
And
See,
I
most-
think there's pizza too that's better, like not better cold, but better than other pizzas cold. There are some pizzas gross cold.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't eat like a full meat lover's pizza cold. Just seems wrong. Like that's
Yeah,
you can
that's
if you do like a veggie or something. That's fine. Have you guys ever had tomato pie?
No, it's probably very close to pizza. It sounds pretty gross though.
It's something up here in the north where it's like the part of a pizza that like you don't want. So it's like the crust, but it's like a thicker, deeper crust. And then they just put tomato sauce on it, and the tomato sauce is like freezing cold. So it's literally a slice of bread. You gotta look at it. It's like a slice of bread with tomato sauce. I'm starting to like it a little bit, which is a problem because I told myself I'd never eat it like willfully, but it's weird. It's a weird taste. It seems so wrong to be eating cold pizza sauce on not oven.
That sounds like an intoxicated creation that you made.
Yeah, it does. And somehow it stuck because literally everyone loves it.
Ugh, that's gross.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
My next one's from The Office. We got to debate it here. You may need to get your phones out because I did. Is Hillary Swank hot or not? The question is not, would you do her? I'm going to go to Hillary.
Is this from a TV show?
Yeah, it's from The Office.
Yeah, it's from The Office.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Hillary Swank's hot.
No.
I don't think anybody will.
She plays Jan, doesn't she?
She's isn't she?
No.
Is it $1 Million Baby? No. Hillary Swank's just in the show. The question in the show is Hillary Swank hot or not? She's not in. Like she's not a character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
No, I don't watch enough Office.
She's not ugly, but I don't think she's hot.
There you go.
No.
Would you do her? Kevin's question or somebody's question to Kevin.
No.
I didn't have to answer that, but I appreciate you doing it anyways.
She's attractive, but she's not.
Did you look up a picture of her, Joe? You have an opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the whole point of the show. I don't think there's anything special. I mean, no offense, but that's not it.
I think she was also much more cute when she was younger. She is not aged gracefully.
That's what I'm assuming. For them to single her out in the show, I'm a little lost. But that's fine. See you, Terry.
Next one, came in my last one. Would you rather always smell very strongly of piss or faintly of shit.
Oh god.
How strong are we talking? Like borderline gagging?
Is it your own shit or is it
oh.
somebody else's shit?
I don't know if that makes it better. But I think the strong smell of piss is maybe not gagging, but to the point of everyone's like, this guy smells like piss.
Or
I mean,
or
like
the
shit.
faint one is like, oh, this man farted a little bit ago.
But it's also, maybe it's so faint, maybe they don't know it's you. You can so as long as you're not in a room with a single, like just one other person, you could always pass it off on someone else. I could walk up and be like, Joe, does Landon not absolutely stink tonight? And everyone's gonna think it's Landon.
But
I think it's faintly shit.
I'm going piss just because if you're talking about like fart, you're like, oh yeah, someone passed it. Like when you smell like actual shit, like that's like it's not like an old person, like it's just not. It's gross. Like you can't get past that. You can get past piss or I don't know. I mean, like at least.
How hydrated are we?
I think piss is what I call just in case gagging does become involved. I don't know if I've ever smelled pee and gagged. Like whether it be my dogs or walked into a bath. See, bathroom's different because it's always the pee mixed with the shit. It's never just been like you can always walk in there and be like, that's disgusting. I can tell someone peed on the floor, but I'm never like about it.
Yeah,
when you smell a like nasty like Hannah's bathroom, you come out of there gagging because it smells like shit. It's
okay, that's valid, but I have bad experience because I like had to stay at a place once where like no water for 3 days, so it was just a bunch of dudes pissing in the same toilet, and not flushing for 3 days. Oh. That smell when you walk in there to leave on the third day, there's nothing that like. That's what I'm picturing, and like that still says a lot. But like if it's that low, that's what I mean by gag because it's
both of like the things you just mentioned, the faintly smelling like shit and strongly smelling like piss. That is the White House. That bathroom.
I didn't go in that bathroom.
Not in your room, but the other bathroom was like
you'll gag. I didn't go in that bathroom. I'm sure it was gross.
Oh my god.
They often wanted to use my bathroom. It was so disgusting. And my bathroom was on. I mean, it was about as clean as I could get it, but you could only go so far with that thing.
Yeah,
it was nasty.
The fort is a rough place.
Live on, long live the White House. I think it's condemned. I don't think it exists anymore.
Really?
I think. Dang. I feel like I heard that rumor. I don't know if it's true. I accidentally just shipped something there the other day. I think I got it stopped in time, but they haven't emailed me back, so we'll see.
All right. Well,
it's been fun.
It's been real fun. Hey, I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Better than the guy who bet $10,000 on the Sacramento Kings to win the NBA Finals.
It's to win like 1.2 million though, isn't it? Which is like
7.5.
It's 7. Okay, see that's.
I assume you mean next year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you haven't lost the bet yet. Okay.
No, I mean, he lost it.
He lost it. I mean, have like fuck you money, like $10,000. Like if it's not like if to him it's like $10,000, not a big deal. That payout, that's a ridiculous like.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if it's in the sense of us being like, oh, I'm betting the dollar to win like 7,200 or 720, even $1 to win, I'm gonna take it no matter what. So I'm assuming, unless
fair point,
he's like going pretty hard. Like that's a hard $10,000 bet. If it's Mattress Mac, I understand why.
He probably would have put $1 million on it. I mean, it's insane.
He is insane. It's on a cold streak.
I feel like he's always on a cold streak.
Really? I haven't seen him bet a bet in forever.
Okay, I was like, does he hit?
Historically sad loss.
Yeah, if he bets on your team, just call it in. Mail it in.
Yeah,
it's done. It's over. He must have bet on Tennessee to win. It wasn't their fault. He bet on Tennessee to win College World Series. They didn't stand a chance.
Did he actually? I didn't see that.
No, I'm just kidding. I know.
Oh, no wonder. I was like, damn, he's living a bad luck charm.
Love it.
All right. Well, guys, that's all I got.
That's it for me. Hey, did you? I finally got it hung. Championship.
Nice.
Championship paper. Basketball SECs on that side. My room's messy from getting everything back from traveling, so I'm not going to show it to you. But
love it, guys. Appreciate y'all listening. Thanks to Redmond again for hopping on and spending some time with us. That was awesome. Have a good rest of your week. Great Friday. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.